Hey! Hey! Over here! I'm coming. Here I am. Hey everybody, it's the Lob coming at you with a new kind of Minecraft video. That's right, we're breaking away from the single player Let's Play survival world and coming at you with something just a little bit different. I didn't want to just stick with the same old stuff the whole time. I wanted to break it up, give some variations, and well, one of the things I really like to do is to teach people how to build. I love building, I love being able to see people learn how to build, and so we're going to be doing something. Oh, sneak preview. Don't look. Careful. You'll see in just one second. I'll tell you. Be patient. Come on. Be patient. This series that we're going to be doing today is going to be called Custom Generated Builds. So what we've got is I've got a random list generator with 4 different categories in it. Build style, so like steampunk, medieval, rustic, fantasy, Asian, ice, you know, you name it. I got a lot in there. I've also got the build size from small, medium to large. The third one is build type, so that's whether it's like a castle, a house, some sort of organic, some sort of terrain, I don't know, lots of different kinds of things in there that we could be building. And then it's got the fourth one, it's a random feature. You know, something to incorporate in, something to feature in the build so that we're not just, you know, sticking to one thing. We've got something random to put in there. So let me show you what we've got here. So like I said, one of the categories is size. If I get a small size, I'm gonna do magic. If I get a small size, I will build within one singular chunk. If I get medium, I've got 4 chunks. I'm quadrupling the size. I'm going 2 by 2. The build doesn't have to take up the entirety of the space. It might be, I don't know, only like in this area, and then the rest is gonna be terrain and world around it. And if I'm doing large is a 3 by 3 chunk. That is 9 chunks to build in. But for now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go figure out what our build is gonna be. Oh boy, I'm excited. Let's see. Alright, so I'm using an app called Arty Games that has a custom list generator in it. And so I've already put in the build style, build size, build type, random feature. Okay, we're done, we're going, and I'm gonna press go here just a second. And now, rustic, medium, factory, statue. Oh boy, alright. So we are building a rustic, so in the style of rustic, factory. Alright, so rustic factory. It's a medium size, so we're gonna be using our 2 by 2 chunk over here. I'm not using this one. This is my template. I'll build another one with a statue as a feature. What am I gonna do? I don't know yet. It's fine. It's cool. We're gonna go ahead and jump on into the build, but first things first is I need to make my outline. Okay guys, I've got my area built. So this is, I can build on top of the concrete. I don't have to build inside of it. I can build on top of it, but I cannot build I exited out of my recording trying to grab grass. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm gonna get me some signs, gonna mark down what my things were, okay? Because I'm stupid, guys. I will forget. Okay, so we've got our build style, rustic, build size, medium, build type, factory, and random feature, a statue. So guys, I've been doing some thinking. I'm feeling like it needs to be a lumber factory. A big old factory here. That processes trees, cuts down these big old mega tigers. Makes sense why you need a factory for that instead of just a wood camping set. You got these big old trees that it's got to process. And I think that would just be so cool. And then, okay, you're thinking, okay, Lob, where's the statue? You can't just plant a tree and call that a statue. Okay, y'all ever seen those giant, tall Paul Bunyan statues? I'm gonna make that. If I do this, I think I'm gonna make one of those giant, tall Paul Bunyan statues holding an axe and just standing outside of it, kind of like the logo for the factory marking this area. And I think that would, one, fit the Rustic so well, and it would just fit the area. And you know what? It's a challenge. I've never built a human statue before, let alone a Paul Bunyan statue holding an axe. And so I'm gonna do it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the wood processing plant, the wood factory, with the Paul Bunyan statue as the mascot, the logo, whatever you want to call it, the attention grabber. I think I have an idea. I think I know what I'm going to do. So a lot of lumber mills that I was looking at in concept art, they got this big old barn structure. A lot of them have a water wheel running through a river to kind of help with the lumber processing part of the whole factory thing. I think I'm gonna have an outer area where the trees are brought in and laid down and maybe processed a little bit more, chopped up by the lumberjacks, and then they're taken in to the barn to be processed further. So what I'm gonna do first is I am going to do the terrain first. Okay guys, after a little bit of terraforming, I just raised up the platform here a little bit so I could work with the land, and did a little bit of shaping as if I was kind of in a mega taiga biome, but still leaving like a flat area where I can work with, but still having some variation, especially on the opposite side of the river over here, making it seem more like it's in a natural environment. Obviously I'll come through later adding trees, vegetation, possibly changing up the landscape a little bit more, maybe to fit the theme better. But for now, what we're going to do with, now that I have my area that I'm building all done, I can start to do some planning on the build. I really want to flesh out exactly what I'm doing, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of a planning process. Why don't y'all come along and check it out? So the first thing that I want to do is I want to try to get a color palette going. First, I'm going to start off with just a little bit of a wall using this palette down here, the spruce planks, spruce logs, some dark oak logs, dark oak planks. Probably gonna throw this in here on the window, the oak fence gate, with some cobblestone trimming around the edge. So let me build something small here real quick, and I'll get right back to you. Okay, something simple like this is what I'm talking about. I'm building up just little sections of the walls of what maybe a wall might look like. I came in here with the stripped spruce and then the spruce planks, filling in with this lighter oak color fence for the windows, and then using this stone on the bottom as a bit of a trim, with the spruce logs going up and some dark oak logs going across the top. Now obviously this isn't a completed wall, it's not going to look exactly like this. It might not even be in this style, but I wanted to get like a color palette going and think, does that look like a sawmill? And my first thinking is yes, it definitely does look like a sawmill. But you know what? I like that. Okay, I never really want to stick with one color palette. Never really want to try just the first thing that looks good. I knew this was gonna look good. I build like this all the time. But you know what? I want to try something just a little bit different. Maybe go outside my comfort zone a little bit and try something different. Alrighty, guys, coming in here with just something a little bit different. Went for a lighter style, still trying to keep the rustic, doing the red on the bottom instead with the bricks, and then the polished granite, keeping with a darker theme because darker window, because I have a lighter background, using a little bit more of a texture of the oak planks, the stripped oak logs, and the stripped birch, which I love, stripped birch, that I then ended up putting on top here. Trying to keep with a lighter theme, not trying to stick too much to the darks, but trying something a little bit different. And I gotta say, I do like it, but I don't think it screams rustic as much as this one. But if you're not, I'm gonna try another one. Okay, try something different, something out of the ordinary. Let's give it a go. Okay guys, coming back here with another texturing look that I've got going on here. Just something a little bit different, a little bit more unusual. I wanted to break away from kind of the normal kind of look that you'd have over here, and I went with the andesite and diorite stone texturing here in the background with a dark spruce, always varying from the lighter colors to the darker there in the middle. I wanted to try something different because I know in a lot of old medieval kind of styles you see this prismarine done, and with the new trapdoors here blending in pretty well with that, and I think those go really well with the dark tones. I just added these because I don't know why not. But you know I do kind of really like it. I do kind of really like how this looks. Now the question is though, do I like it more? And you know what? The answer is I don't know yet. What's really gonna decide it is my roof. I'm gonna do my roof. I'm gonna see what kind of color I want on my roof, and I think that's really going to determine for me which one I'll choose. Okay, guys. Just decided to do all 3 of the roofs this time, going in a little bit different color palette for each of them, keeping the same style like I did with the walls here. I love the look of this one. I really love the look of this one. My only problem with it is I feel it is too much fantasy and not as much rustic. But in rustic, you really kind of get these duller kind of looks. This first one that we made is the one that really fits the style, but I think instead of this dark oak roof, I would like to go for more of a red roof, kind of like this one, but keeping this stone brick trim. Alright guys, coming back here with the granite roof. I'm liking this a lot more than the dark oak roof. It makes the roof stand out a lot more than the wall of the build. Keeps it from looking like it's all the same. And you know, looking at some of these old rustic cabins and barns, you see these red roofs a lot actually. I might not keep this style of the very chunky roof. I might go for a more like a staircase going up, still keeping the banding going on the outside more than likely, but changing it so it's more of an even slope. So I think we've got a decent color palette going, and a decent idea for what we're going to be building. So I think it's time that we start a little bit of the build. And what better way, guys, to start off the build than to kick this off into a fantastic time-lapse video. Let's go. Oh man, guys, I gotta say, this was so much fun to do. Oh my gosh, guys, I mean, come on. Rustic, medium sized factory with a statue. You saw nothing. Well, I ended up running out of room for the statue. I'm gonna call this the statue. It's not really exactly what I had in mind. I had said something about a Paul Bunyan thing, but you know, working with the space that I had, I just did not have enough room for that. So I decided to make something else on top. It's like a saw blade kind of sign. You know, the whole point was like it was advertising thing. I think it works. Okay, I think it works. We can put it back. See, there we go. It's fine. It's fine. So anyway, guys, let me give you a quick tour of this. I know you just saw it in the time lapse, but I am in love with this this place. So you come on in here. This is like the entrance to it. You walk up in and you just see this big old area with their logs all tied outside, ready to be processed. You know, you come on in here. Just a nice little interior bottom here for you, just a little bit of storage, and then you head on up to the top room up here. You got your little lounging area where you can hang out. Got your wood burning stove that vents out on the chimney up there. You can come out on the porch, sit out here and watch the water wheel go by. This is one of my favorite parts of the build. This water wheel comes up, fills up, dumps out in here. You see it's all gone, not there anymore. And that's how we get our water supply into our little factory area, which we're about to go to next. We head on in. Gotta tell them we're here first. We head on into the factory area. Oh my gosh, guys. I love it. I think this is so cool. I think this is amazing. It's unique. It's nothing special. You know, you got your little saw blades going on here. You got your little processing workbench where they're gonna run the logs through and cut it on up. A little bit of a workstation here. But this is so cool. Okay, most people would say that's smoke coming out of here. Nah, that ain't smoke. That's sawdust. That's right. This sucks up the sawdust from when they are cutting up the logs. So yeah, this is the front of the build. I'll fly around the side here. You can get a nice look. My little flower box here. I want to add a little bit of that blue in there that I had over there before. I got rid of them. Don't worry about it. So it's fine. Wrapping around the outside here. Got my lights hanging down. I love the red roof. And this chimney design is not my design. One of my friends that I play on my SMP server. He made this design and I fell in love with it. So I wanted to use it here. Showcase it off for y'all. So moving on, that's kind of the whole build. You saw that. You saw kind of what it looks like, but moving on to the terrain around it, I wanted to have a ginormous spruce tree that it looks like they cut that down. It looks like it's grown into the ground here. I wanted to add a lot of life. This is one of my favorite things to add to rivers. Is something new that I learned recently. It's cattails. You do some green glass panes with a sea pickle on top, and it's just growing out, and surround it with some lily pads with some sugar cane, and oh, it's amazing. Whenever you're doing terraforming with things that grow, like the sugar cane right here, I always add string on top at different height levels. That way it'll keep them at like 2, 3, 1, you know, just the variation. You don't want them all the same size because it looks kind of funky. Same thing with bamboo. I grow the bamboo up, I put it at 2, I put the string on top, I break the top piece, and I let it grow again so it gets these nice leaves on it. And you just do it in varying sizes all around so that you get some variation. It looks more natural instead of, you know, just these giant tall shoots of bamboo growing up that just wouldn't fit into this area. But I just love how this whole thing turned out. The river here, I'm going to dive on in. Got some fences in here that act like, you know, I don't know, sticks, logs, something that fell in there. Of course, got my sea pickles. I gotta have that. Got some stones in here, and just the whole area really came together really well, and kind of went for that vibe, that feel that I was going for. Oh my gosh, guys, I love this build. It's amazing. It's one of my favorite creative builds, and I'm loving this this idea of, you know, random generated builds. You know, I'd have never thought of this on my own. I'd have never come up with this. And I just love the way that it turned out. So much detail, so much life and story behind it that you can really tell with this build. Got my little wagon. Ah, so cute. I'm gonna go for a ride. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that time lapse and learning how to build just something a little different. I challenge you to try this for yourself. Take those 4 things. Make a medium size rustic factory with a statue. Okay? But anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining me in this brand new video series that I got. I just had so much fun making this with the random, custom generated structures. It's gonna be so much fun. I'm gonna have a blast doing these in the future. But until next time, y'all, bye. Okay, future Lob coming in here. I felt bad about the statue, so I made a statue.